everyone. Welcome back to Build. I'm your host, Brittany Jones-Cooper, and today I'm sitting down with the cast of Shadowhunters, guys. After a 9-month hiatus, the show is back for the second part of its third and final season, where we will finally see if good can overcome evil. Stars Katherine McNamara, Shum Jr., Matthew Daddario, and Emeraude Toubia will join me today, but first, here's a trailer from Shadowhunters.
Jonathan.
In the flesh. Resurrection brought back my real face. Feels good to be back.
Oh, I was hoping you'd do that.
I can feel it. It's this darkness. It's growing.
To overcome your demons, you have to face them.
I'm looking at all the leader the pack needs right here in front of me.
I won't lose you. I can't.
Come back to me, Simon. You have so much more to live for.
I'll love you until I die.
It is my honor to pronounce you one.
This is it, isn't it?
I'm so sorry.
I promised I would never leave your side.
I'll see you in hell.
This is who I am.
Join me.
Please help me welcome Katherine McNamara, Shum Jr., Matthew Daddario, and Emeraude Toubia.
Hello.
You guys, this might be the fullest I've seen our audience since I started this job.
The Shadow Fam always brings it.
The
you know
Shadow
what I mean?
Fam is serious.
They're the best. I mean, look.
I know.
Give it up for
Shadow
yourself.
Fam
Let's give it up for y'all.
And guys, I think they're feeling this excited because they've been waiting 9 long months to see how everything wraps up. So what has that wait been for you guys?
The same.
About the same. Yeah. We don't get to see it until it airs and it's in its fully formed kind of form.
I am really excited about tonight. We're all hanging out, right? And watching
Yeah, we're gonna live read.
We do
So hang
film
out with
it,
us.
so we know more than they know. And we were doing it as recently as a few months ago.
Well, though, to be fair, though, I'm often not there. Like when you and Harry are shooting your stuff,
Yeah,
I don't
that's-
get to see it from the
You
table.
don't know.
True.
You kind of don't know what's
So,
happening, what's
yeah.
changed when everyone's
right.
filming
Yeah.
something else.
What
so
scenes
I
are
really don't.
cut? What scenes are stay?
Scenes are
but
cut. They don't
tonight-
cut
What are
any
you talking
scene.
about?
But tonight we're gonna see it. Yay.
Well,
You
I'm
guys
dead,
excited?
so I don't really know.
Right, so
what's
let's
gonna
start
happen.
on that.
Yeah.
Clary's dead,
I'm dead.
allegedly.
Why are you here right now?
Well, you know,
The character's dead.
I missed you guys, and I figured if I wore white, I could get away with it because Shadowhunters funerals and all, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm, you know, it's. I can say this: I am in the show for the last 12 episodes.
As a ghost.
It's just in what? Yeah. Boo.
Hence white, too.
Yeah. No, it's just in a very different capacity. Clary has permanently changed, and she will never be the same after the
'Cause she's
explosion
dead.
that happened. Because she's dead. that happened. But what I find most interesting is you get to see the first bit of the first episode. You get to see all of the other characters deal with her loss, which I find fascinating.
But, okay,
Wait,
but
I
there's
thought you
not
didn't
really
watch
any
it.
permanent-
How do you know all this stuff?
Because I read the script.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's not really permanent death on this show. Everyone keeps getting brought back.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean, if
You've been
you're-
brought back before?
Not me, no. But
Boss, your dad.
Valentine we brought back.
Yeah.
We brought,
Yeah,
we
you brought him
Jace back a couple times.
I'm
We've
confused.
now
That
brought
happened
Jonathan
already,
back.
right? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was on the show once and I said something like, oh, I think I said 2B and it was when we just did 2A and everyone's like, ooh. And I think I saw Matt's face like, oh my gosh, you just screwed up. So anyways.
Is that a fear you all have? Is like you can't let
Constant.
the secret slip?
Constant.
Oh,
Constantly.
What happens?
Well, sometimes I slip a lot.
She is the one that's
But and that's why I'm not speaking a lot today. I'm just gonna stay quiet.
not.
So let's talk about your
yes.
character. She may or may not be dead, but what do you
She's
think
dead.
about her evolution?
well, what
What do you think about her evolution?
is kind of key in her evolution in 3B is that Clary has tried to push aside this Morgenstern half of herself, this dark side. She killed her own father in order to do that at one point, but she's never allowed herself to confront it because she's afraid of it. And it's something that's very difficult for her. But now with her brother being back, that's her journey in 3B, is really confronting that Morgenstern half, that darkness, that what it is, because it's very much a part of her and it's what makes her a good fighter. It's what makes her strong, but it's also, it'll be interesting.
Does she
to see.
like it? She like that bad girl side of her?
To be determined. That is a question that is
gonna see.
explored. Yeah. And it's also seeing that brother-sister relationship, seeing how being both the children of Valentine, how Jonathan and Clary can help and hurt each other.
Who do you think took her death the hardest? Or are we going to see that?
Probably
You
Jace.
see it, yeah.
Or
You
Simon.
Jace, I'm there when Jace is really, really bad, and Isabel kind of, helps him.
But Simon too.
through.
Simon.
What?
Let her
What
keep
happened?
going.
Alec,
Let her
is
keep
Alec
going.
happy about this?
I know. Are you happy?
Yeah, are you like relieved that I'm gone because I'm no longer
No.
throwing a monkey wrench?
What
into
are
your
you
life?
doing?
I
Aren't
don't
you like?
actually remember.
Because you don't, yeah. Do you even tell Magnus? I think Magnus doesn't even find out.
I think I throw it out there at some point.
Like, oh yeah, we're gonna go get coffee, and oh yeah,
Claire's
Claire's
dead.
dead, by the way.
And-
By the way, little girl's dead.
Let's talk about Magnus, because at the end of the last season, we see him losing his powers. So what can we expect from him in 3B?
A lot of cooking on his own.
A lot of teaching, a lot of learning. He's got to learn how to do a lot of
Babysitting.
things. He's got to learn how to brush his
Yeah,
teeth.
Alec is like teaching him all these
Breakfast
simple
in bed?
Yeah, it's actually 5 episodes of kind of like how-to.
Yeah,
And,
a lot of how to, a lot of YouTube tutorials.
Cooking with
and
Magnus
all
and
that.
Alec.
You guys will love it. It's
lot.
thrilling.
From the trailer, it also looks like Alec teaches him how to dance a little bit.
You mean?
Alec
No,
could
Alec
never
teaches
teach
him.
Magnus
What?
how to dance.
Oh no!
Wait.
Can you show us?
I just saw a dancing move, and
pause.
I just want to know more about that scene and
What are
maybe
you
what it's
talking
about.
What dancing are you talking about?
Alec is an ex. Which there's more than one, right?
Oh.
There's dancing at all? I don't remember any of this. I don't think that's
How
true.
long ago
I think
did
you
you
blocked
take
it out.
No,
of
no,
that.
they edited that all together. It's not actually in the show. You guys are getting too excited about something that doesn't exist
Stop!
yet.
Don't be
they
mean.
would never throw that out there and just reveal that. That should be a surprise. If it actually happens, which it doesn't.
think
I
it's a
saw it with my
surprise.
own eyes.
It is
Yeah.
now.
So you're not going to tell me?
Do I have
Yeah,
to-
so, I mean, we don't have to talk about it, but
No,
I
I mean-
like that, and I know a lot of people
You
love
see
this.
that. You see that happen. The beauty of it is the fact that it's reversing. Because like I think like in the previous seasons, Magnus was teaching Alec everything. So you see this other side where Alec is like, oh, I get to teach you random things. Things that I've always wanted to teach people, and no one would listen. I'm sure, like he's that kid that he would have all these facts, and no one was like, "Okay, Alex, shut up." No one, and Magnus like,
well-
"Please tell me these things." So you see that relationship grow in that way, and I think dance is one of them. So I think the question is, who's teaching who?
Yeah, okay, good. I mean, because Malik, if you go on Twitter, I mean, that is like one of the most trending ships out there. So what does it mean for you guys to get to play that relationship that people love so much?
Oh, we love it. It's an honor to get to play these characters that have such a intense following, and people are really invested in their well-being. And despite everything that the show does to destroy their lives, they keep coming back and they work things out. And I swear to all of you that by the end, you guys are gonna be thrilled.
And
You guys are gonna have a
the
great
I'd say
gifs
that's
are what
true.
make me laugh, because like when anything small happens between Malik, it's that one that I forgot, what's that girl from Broad City? Her running like down the hall. Oh my god, this is not it.
Or it's Emma Stone eating the ice cream. Yeah.
So it's honestly wonderful, especially the same-sex relationship. It's such a underrepresented on television, but to see them interact in this way, where it's almost domesticated in a way, you know, where let's say their home lives and how they interact with
Increasingly so too, right?
each other. Yeah,
In this next season, more of
definitely
that.
a lot of
Yeah,
that.
more
yeah.
of that.
And I mean, people ship you guys, but also Isabel and Simon, Sizzy.
Izzy.
I heard we're gonna get a little more into that this season. Please.
I
tell
mean,
me.
the show is ending, so you're definitely gonna get some Sizzy. Well, Isabel kind of witnessed everything that happened with Simon and his family, and it was completely devastating to see like what he had to do. So she's gonna help him with the Mark of Cain. They're gonna go on a lot of missions together, and I think she's gonna help him a lot through that. And it's gonna be a really interesting story on how these two characters are really starting to bond and maybe feeling things a little more than just a
Feeling
friendship.
things.
Yeah.
Feeling things.
So you're saying
I had a
they're
feeling.
gonna get.
Yeah, what are
You're
you
saying that things are gonna get fiery.
Ooh,
Ooh. Oh, ew.
I like this.
This is something that I love about these last 12 episodes, though, because we've seen all of these characters and these relationships and gotten to know them so intimately for so long. With these last 12 episodes, we have an opportunity to take everything that we think is sure and turn it on its head and really explore all of these other aspects of the characters and the relationships that we haven't yet seen. And with the relationships, get some new milestones that we haven't yet gotten to.
But that's what we do, right? That's what the show does. We're always turning things upside down.
Shadowhunters.
It's
That's
true.
what we do.
That's what-
Shadowhunters.
we like to make things difficult for people. We throw everything upside down. Nothing's ever easy.
Yeah.
No.
That's the show.
And so you're saying this
An
last
hour
bit
every
is not
week
gonna
of
be
heartbreak.
easy.
It's if the rest
Whoa,
of the show
is this
hasn't been
tequila right
easy,
here?
this gets even worse. Yeah.
There is tequila in the cups. So we've talked about.
Viva Mexico! Cheers! Cheers!
I
Cheers!
wish.
Cheers!
Next time, guys.
Cheers.
It's water.
So we've talked about what's to come, but I want to talk to you guys as a family, as a team of actors. What was it like to film those final scenes? Do you remember those feelings? Can you take me back?
Why you
In the
do that?
table read, it all started then. I remember like a scene between Clary and Simon that it's just heartbreaking, you know.
This is the thing, is that our showrunners know not only our characters, but each of us so well. And Todd and Darren wrote the last 2 episodes. And so there are certain scenes that I could not get through without tearing up, because they know exactly what I'm feeling and they put it down on paper. And it's beautiful. It's heartbreaking, it's bittersweet, and it's beautiful.
And even one of our producers, I was reading off like the narration, he couldn't get it through because it was everyone worked really hard on these on the whole season and the previous seasons, but particularly the last 2, it was a different feeling because it's ending, but you got to wrap it up in a way that hopefully the audiences will love, but also everyone got to pour everything into these last 12 episodes, but specifically the last 2.
Well, it's really those last 2. Think about how successful it was, how well they did it, considering you have to put all this into 2 episodes. They had set things up for more, but you get these 2 episodes that do a tremendous job of wrapping everything up. You get all these different experiences. I mean, it's a real whirlwind. The last
But it might not be happy in the
Whirlwind.
ending.
Well,
No, the ending is amazing.
We don't
It
know
really
yet.
is.
I have to give tremendous credit, though, to every department on our production, because I've never been a part of a show that has become such a symbiotic being. And every single department worked together. Everyone really pushed themselves and everyone else to make the show better every single day. And that's why the finale was so special, because we made it not only for you guys, for the fandom, but also for us, who have all spent the last 4 years of our lives creating this world that had a life of its own. I mean, the world in itself, the sets and the props, the costumes, they were almost a character in our story. And every single department was a part of creating that environment that made the world so special for us and for all of you.
Also, the studio and the network, Freeform and Constantine, I mean, they could have just ended the show without these final 2 episodes, and they know how important the fandom is. And it's basically for them, to kind
Got
of
a
wrap
movie.
it up.
We got
Yeah.
a movie, a
Got a
2-hour movie.
Yeah.
That's what I love most about it. I mean, obviously the books were so successful and you had this built-in fandom, but the show has really elevated that in such a beautiful way. So I'm happy that it's getting to be wrapped up in a way that you deserve, because your fans obviously wanted it.
And we got to have a lot of fun those last few weeks because there's no repercussions for being a little weird.
So there might be some storylines where like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go that way.
So there's a lot more freedom, and I think it was a fun set for those last
The
few
first
weeks.
set we closed was Magnus's apartment, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I have a funny story. Is they like locked it down. It was crazy because there's a lot of expensive things in Magnus's loft. He lives an expensive life. So we climbed over to
You
hang
did
out.
what?
Why wasn't I
think it was pretty
invited?
tall. We climbed over and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it down. And it was like there's 10, 12 people there because when we finished wrapping everything up, when we hung out in Magnus's
Just
loft.
taking photos.
Just taking photos.
Taking
which
photos.
I will release.
Oh, please, we all want to see them because I was not invited.
There's a moment that I'll never forget. It's we all, because we had our wrap party in the studio. So we wrapped the last scene, which we all happened to be in, pretty much most of the cast. And we had a champagne toast, and we were all hugging and crying, and then we all went to go change before the wrap party. And there was a moment where I was about to step off the set of the Institute in wardrobe for the last time, and it hit me like a brick wall that was the last time that all of us would be there in wardrobe making the show, the last time I was stepping off set as Clary.
You were crying a lot.
I was crying a lot.
I was gonna say, who did it hit the hardest?
She cried for a long time.
I had to cry.
The whole party, she was
I had to cry
crying.
in the
Oh my
scene
God,
though
Matt.
too, so I was already crying.
You were
and
crying
I was
too.
Crying
She
more.
was crying the most. She was crying. I think she cried for 2 hours straight.
I think I did.
She had trouble drinking the champagne.
Yeah, I cried a lot.
Kat.
Well, to be honest, something that the finale made me realize is that Clary's journey and my journey have been so paralleled. I was 19 when I started the show. I'm in my mid-20s now, and I feel like I grew up with these guys.
I will
grew
have
up
to
on the
say
show.
for Kat and Clary, it's like it's parallel, like with the characters kind of coming in, jumping in. I remember meeting her, and it was just like this teenager that walked in, like, "Hi, I'm Kat," and then to see this her grow into a confident woman, and just I think it's so beautiful, and so much growth has happened in between that, and I'm just so proud of her for leading the show.
And your fighting skills by the end.
That is
just
really
like
impressive.
her. She came in knowing nothing. Now you're like a
I'm not gonna lie. When I
boxer.
first saw her kick, I was like, "Ooh, I don't know. This is gonna be a long couple of years." And then the growth happened. I was like, "Oh
She
my
put the
gosh, she
work
improved
in,
so
man.
much." So yeah, she's a hard worker.
Guys, you're gonna make me cry now.
Did you guys have similar moments where it kind of hit you like, oh, we're done? Or has it not hit you yet?
I don't know. Weirdly, because it's airing, we're not finished with the process. And I don't know if you're ever really going to be, we're done filming it, but I don't know, done with the show. I don't know when that's going to happen.
I feel like with
What?
You said that very like inquisitive. You're like, I don't know.
Because it's like, we got a lot of episodes, 12 hours of TV. It's the next few months. It's a long time.
You're right. When you
Still feels like it's not over.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will be. I mean, I hope you guys, continue being our friends throughout,
And
our
still like us.
process.
Listen, the Shadow
Yeah.
Fam's not going anywhere, and it doesn't have to, because what you guys have created as the fandom is this beautiful community and this place that people can feel loved and accepted. And we've all watched you guys make friends, and we've seen artists grow and all of these amazing things. And that doesn't have to end just
Y'all
because
are
we don't have
funny
more
too, man.
episodes.
I
We
gotta
love
give it
you
to y'all. Y'all are
guys.
funny.
You entertain
Y'all keep
us
me
more than we
laughing.
entertain you, I think, sometimes.
No, the creativity you were talking about. I mean, the creativity level of some of these kids online, what they create.
Oh,
and
the
so-
fan art is
art is
absolutely
incredible.
beautiful.
Unreal.
It's wild.
The memes,
Wild
the fan
stuff.
art, the ships. I mean, it's like
nuts.
really intense.
The video edits, too, some of those are
Yo,
insane.
one of y'all did a trailer. I was like, yo,
I think
this is
Freeform needs to hire a
fresh.
couple of these people
Super
because they are
fresh.
so
they
good.
just
Some of them
right?
must be like in college or something doing this, and they're like, "Well, I have this
Well,
project."
yeah, I mean, they're all ages. I mean, the fans, that's what's beautiful.
But
They're
some of that
all
editing
ages.
is like legit.
I think there was like a 70-year-old like fan that just I think knitted something for me.
Really?
And I was like, it's incredible. I think that this show is a really unique show. So
Did she send it to you?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
fan mail. Like it was just like beautifully knitted Magnus Bane.
Do any of you guys, maybe I'm the only one that does this, search on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube for these edits to just kind of see what's out there? Because I'm fascinated by the fandom. I kind of stalk you guys sometimes.
Keep creating
the
them.
stalker.
She's watching. Before we go to the audience, I just want to know from this second half of the third season, the ending, what is an episode or a storyline that really got you that you can't wait for fans to see?
I think for book fans, especially, there's a lot of moments that are very iconic for the series that we haven't seen yet, that a lot of people keep asking about and waiting for. I know I personally really wanted to see a lot of those happen, and we did a majority of them. So stay tuned.
Yeah, for me,
Some of your favorite
episode
stuff.
3.
Say anything.
Episode 3, there's a. What are you talking about? Yes, I can tease it. Episode 3, there's an amazing scene at the Sealy Court. And it's.
1946.
And book fans are going to love it. So I'm excited. That's probably going to be one of my favorite scenes that I got to shoot. And now that I'm going to be able to see. So I think the fans are going to love it too.
Waffles.
Yeah. I'll say
Wait,
waffles.
didn't we have a lot of. We were
Waffles.
eating like bacon, remember?
A lot of bacon.
Were you doing your little magic for your food, remember?
I don't have magic.
What do you mean?
Magnus doesn't have
Magnus
magic
doesn't have
anymore.
his magic. He lost his magic.
What do you mean?
Dun dun dun.
And
One of my favorite
my
moments.
God,
Let's go to
what?
fan
I'm happy to let her
questions,
continue to talk.
I have 2 words.
I would say one of my favorite moments is when Magnus gets into a huge argument to the point where the other character breaks down, and they both break down, and it was.
What?
You don't know. You don't.
I know what you're talking about.
know.
I know what you're talking
You don't
about.
know.
Could be him. Could be his dad.
I was gonna say, could it be your
another
dad?
character that came back. Magnus got a lot of problems. Okay, he's got to handle a lot of things. So he's got to come back and come back to maybe getting his magic back. But what's amazing is I think when the characters specifically and how Clary comes back, if she ever comes back, I think that is the most, to me, that the storyline is the most interesting. And when I saw it, I thought the writers did a brilliant job with that.
I have 2 words about that.
Giving everything away, guys.
Team Evil.
What'd she say?
What?
You guys know
Did
what
you
Evil
say?
is?
Excuse me.
Oh, I don't know. What
Team Evil. What
Team
about you,
Evil.
Matt? What was your favorite
Matt,
scene?
did you have a moment?
Team
yeah, like,
medieval.
okay, so nothing that you want to see happens. Everything goes down the drain. The magic never comes back. The ending is terrifying, harrowing, and I'm not going to give away secrets. You're going to watch, and you're going to have a great time.
Everybody dies.
Yeah,
Everybody dies.
Wait,
Nobody's happy
I got
in
a
the
question.
end.
Even if you guys had spoilers, would you still watch it?
Yeah.
So there you go.
This
Probably
is
watch
not
it
enough of a
more
test group. We don't have
because of
enough
it.
people to actually.
Test group.
This is not. We don't know that's
I
true.
think this is a good test audience. Speaking of, let's go to them. I know they have a couple questions for you guys. Who do we have first?
Okay, hi.
Hi.
My question is, if you could bring one thing from the shadow world into the real world, what would it be?
I would love to have the Aratsi rune because, as these guys can attest to, I'm very clumsy. And I bruise a lot, and it would just be nice to be able to just heal that up. And if it also cleaned my room, that'd be great too.
I would. Okay, so I would try and make money out of this. So I would get. I would be able to sell portals to people.
Oh, it's a good idea.
I would sell portals.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
But I would.
You
It
know
would
the
be.
value of that.
But
Think about the value of instantaneous travel. Just absolutely
but
ridiculous.
one portal. So they have to keep paying me to keep opening up portals. Although that's what he does already, but I mean, and then I would do like a dozen and be like, I would give a package fee. It's like if you do a dozen, then I could
Like a
charge you
punch
little
card,
less.
like get your 12th
Yeah,
one free.
come back.
Let's go into business
You got
together.
13,
we got
let's
the
do it.
portal
Yeah,
thing.
so
I got
I would
you,
bring
got
that
you.
back for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm
Is that like package deals?
Yeah.
I think you
like
hold out, you keep
Costco,
the
like a
price
package
high.
deal.
You don't give too much supply, and you let the highest bidder go for it.
No, man, I want it all. I want that big package.
All right, we have a Twitter. Oh, so you
Oh,
want to
I'll get my genie. I'll bring Magnus into my world.
Hey.
I'll bring
know,
my genie.
He doesn't want a little Magnus.
I'd bring
in the world.
the real estate. Think about the property value of these. First of all, the institute, absolutely enormous. I mean, think about.
You don't see it if you
Oh,
don't want
and
to.
it's invisible. I mean, this is incredible. You're talking about at least
You build
$200
on
million
top of that.
just on its own. Talking about renting it out.
Can
This
you
is
build on top of it,
Manhattan,
though?
prime Manhattan real
the
estate.
fake one, like
Can I rent an apartment in the Institute, Matt?
It's true.
On Twitter, Bohemian Day wants to know, what is your favorite thing about the Shadow Fam? Touch on it a little bit.
Yeah, I think my favorite, to put it broadly, my favorite thing about the Shadow Fam is the positive supportiveness that is the kind of overarching energy that I get from you guys. And not only towards us, but toward each other as well. I find that so rare. Social media can be so negative, and to see a group of people that overall is positive and makes people feel loved, I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah, what she said. And also, your GIF games are GIF. Is it GIF or is GIF? Which one is it?
Is it Jif?
I heard someone say GIF.
What is it? Guys,
I'm hearing it
So I just started a fight on the Shadow
creator
Fam.
of it said it's GIF like giraffe. I
GIF.
Googled it because I'm a
Yeah,
nerd.
but the creator
Jim.
doesn't get to define how the language goes. But at the same time, I
What does it
disagree
stand
with the other side too. I don't think it's either of those.
So what is it, Matt?
HIF. HIF.
GIF.
No, the G is silent. It's just if.
I like that. It's if.
I like the sense of humor that you guys have. Honestly, it's that's been the most fun part of like going on social media and the humor that you guys bring to things that should be tragic in the show. You guys do bring a lot of humor and of course the positivity and also defending each other when things go down. So I hope that continues, especially with these episodes and beyond that.
I mean, the friends they make. I mean, you guys basically said everything. What is left to say? But yeah, I mean, it's nice that, they can be friends, on opposite side of the world. One is, could be in, in LA and the other person in Italy or in Paris. It's just crazy how they come together.
All right, next question.
Hey guys, first of all, can I just say it's so good to see you guys together again. It feels like a family reunion after so long.
I know you.
For us too.
I know you too. Well, so, okay, hold on. He threw me off now. Okay,
Sorry, continue. We'll chat later.
My question is to all of you guys as well. And you've said so many times before how important being on the show has been to you, not just professionally, but also personally. And my question is, what does the Shadowhunters legacy mean to each of you?
Well, to me, specifically talking about Isabel, I think she shows women how to be powerful and how to stay strong and how to, be powerful with one another and how to support women. And I think that's something amazing that we're seeing on TV right now with female characters. And I think that's personally what I learned from her and how I want to be,
This has been like a tremendous learning experience from so many different directions. Professionally, in terms of acting on a TV show with what we've done now, 53 hours of this show. It's an incredible amount of 55 episodes. 55 hours. This is something that not a lot of actors get to experience. So that's been really amazing. Dealing with an enormous fandom around the world. That's a whole another learning experience. So it's just been like every day something new, learning endlessly, and as a result, it's been very rewarding. And it's really been a wonderful experience. 3.5 years.
Yeah, when you say like 55 episodes, it kind of blows your mind because it doesn't feel like that. When you're like, oh, we did 10 or 20, oh, we did 55. And the fact that it's how impactful that has been to a lot of people beyond us, because when we filmed the show, we're in this like small suction,
bubble. Yeah.
And so when it goes out to the world and it's not ours anymore, it's y'all's and it's all of ours, and.
Y'all is a common term where he's from in Los Angeles.
You
It's all y'alls.
Y'all. I grew up in San Luis Obispo, so they say y'all a lot. And I lost my train of thought.
This experience is really special for you.
Yeah, no, and I think for the character, the characters they all come from different backgrounds, and I think it's parallels to the world that we live in and how they can all come together and defeat these demons in the outer worlds of trying to destroy your family. But with Magnus Bane specifically being like an out character and also being completely comfortable with his own skin, I've said that plenty of times, but that says so much on what a future generation, or even a generation even before us that are experiencing and seeing that. I think that's pretty incredible to have these characters speak to them.
100%. And this is something that's been so special for all of us, because so often as an actor, you pour 100% of yourself, blood, sweat, and tears into a project, into a role. And the majority of the time, maybe a few people care, maybe some people get invested in it, and then it goes away. But the fact that there's been a whole community and a whole movement created, and the fact that we get to be flies on the wall and be a small part of something that's actually impacted someone's life is amazing. And on top of that, the theme that it starts in the source material, but it's been carried through the show, that no matter who you are, no matter what you are, no matter who you love, no matter how you were born, you can choose to be a hero, and you can choose to make a difference in your own life or in someone else's. And you can choose to be great. And that it's all about the choices that you make, not what you're made of, I guess. And that's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's super beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another question?
Hi, thanks for that. So I was wondering, you have beautiful stunt scenes, and you do a lot of fighting, which has grown when we really appreciate that. How much of it is actually yourself, and how much is it as a stunt double?
It's a good mixture.
Yeah, it's a mix. Close-ups is us.
So
it depends on the scene, but if the scene has something where there's a liability of some kind, we're not doing it. So if you're jumping from high up, that's not happening. If your head's getting thrown into a wall, that's not happening. Through a window, not happening.
What is this? I did all those.
We just did a window.
Did I not know about this?
Wait,
like, what's going?
Our first scene together tonight, airing. Oh my God, it airs tonight. I keep forgetting. We did it.
We did it.
We did it, right?
We did it.
Oh,
we did it.
Tonight, we did it. But wait,
there's
one thing about Harry, though, because Harry can do something that other people can't do. So sometimes they
Dance?
actually use Harry for these complex...
Which is not the smartest idea, to be honest with you. When I'm doing shots where I have to go through things, I'm like, why did I say I could do this? And then you also see the stunt double just sitting there like on his phone the whole time. Not like I was like, oh, but he should do something.
Yeah. They're the professionals. They make us look good because God knows we're excellent, but they're better.
They really are, though. They really are. Coming from like not doing stunts previously, all three, and the rest of the cast, everyone's pretty up for it, and actually,
Like
it's very
like
athletic.
Us as in us here, or right?
All the cast, most of the cast.
Yeah, like the cast. Not the. Sorry, I thought you meant the.
The stunt doubles are also.
They weren't.
They're better than us 10 times over.
And they are incredible.
Oh my God, yes.
This is the thing. We had an incredible stunt team that took time to train us outside of what we were just working on as well. So that's, they were talking about all of the fighting and everything earlier. That's how I learned so much over the course of the show, is because they taught me everything I know. And they invested the time in me to make sure that I was able to learn those things. So by mid-season 2, I was doing most of my own fighting, with the exception, obviously, of the dangerous stuff. And I give huge credit to our stunt coordinators, because not only that, they spent extra time in crafting each movement style for each character, and they would blend different martial arts to create a different fighting style for each creature in the Shadow World and for each character.
They were also really respectful, like when we wanted to give an opinion on, let's change this. They were
for
so
sure.
on it and so ready to move forward with the way we wanted to take it, and not just it's their way or the highway. They were just really, really cool.
Stunts is an art form in itself.
It really is.
They definitely deserve the respect. A lot of times people don't pay attention to them, but they make or break a scene, because imagine doing a stunt and then having to like hide your face at the same time.
Right.
That's hard.
Well, not only that, they also make the set safe for all of us. And that's the thing. We wouldn't be able to do half the things that we do if they weren't there to make sure that it was safe and that nobody was going to get hurt in front of or behind the camera. And that's something that I give our stunt coordinators massive credit for, because they were so meticulous about safety.
It's not easy getting stabbed by Surfblade, right?
I did most of the stabbing, unfortunately. I guess that's how Clary communicates, is just, first reaction is just to stab someone.
Don't we all?
Sometimes.
No?
Sometimes.
So relatable.
And last question.
So now that we know that Malik has a dancing scene, these two couches want to know what it was like dancing with Harry.
We didn't have
Question
a
is, what was it
scene.
dancing like with Matthew Daddario?
How many hours of training did you do?
What do you
did have a
define
dancing scene.
What do you define dance?
Yeah, define it.
Define dance.
Is it the rhythmic moving of the body? Is it dancing? Is it with somebody else? Is any kind of movement dancing? Because then we're dancing all the time.
It's so complicated.
How do you know they're not playing soccer?
Is soccer not a form of dance? Isn't
saw the
everything
trailer,
dance?
guys.
Don't
Come
interrupt.
on.
We're talking about the philosophy of dance.
Just talk about it.
No, there is. You know what? I will say that I said this before. I don't know if you've even read anything that I've kind of said about this guy. He's very athletic. He's very athletic. He's a natural dancer. So.
Okay. All right.
But you see that switch happen when he's so frustrated with the moves, and then when he gets it, he's like, I love dance. I want to do this. So.
Oh, I think I saw it. This is like you put it into like sports terms, and it makes it a lot easier. Because I never really trained in dancing ever.
So I had to be like, 352, 350. He's like, yeah.
You know, that's how you coach a lot of these football players and athletes. You kind of tell them like the moves, and then.
Who's doing this? Who's training football players?
Well, I mean, I have a dance teacher.
Oh,
that
I
kinda
see.
tells-
Well, we can't wait to see it.
It's gonna.
And I know
You're
that
gonna-
we
you're
are
gonna
all
love it if it
excited.
is.
What episode? So we can be waiting for it.
Scene 34, episode 10. I don't remember.
No idea.
I was like, if you could really pull that out, I was impressed. I was like, that's
There's
really
some,
impressive.
but not
Okay, scene 34, episode 10. Let's see what
It's
that
actually
is.
it's 3
I'm
episodes in a
wrong.
row, or just 3 episodes of dancing.
Well, as you said earlier, the show premieres tonight. So if you guys want to check out Shadowhunters, check out Freeform at 8 p.m. Eastern. Give it up.
Tonight.
Thank you guys so much.